All right, hello everybody. This is Henry Kramer, 605 Chaser. It's been a while since I had an update, but I wanted to give you an idea of what to expect to areas of Sioux Falls and the northeast of South Dakota. We do expect 1 to 2 inches of snowfall through tonight. And we'll show you some intensity timing here. Based on the snowfall timing, we do show Sioux City area, kind of a 65% chance in the afternoon. That does get more intense up in the Brookings area the later in the evening that we go. As you can see, the snow timing from the National Weather Service out of Sioux Falls. And then Sioux Falls area, that does expect to have 70 to nearly 80% as the evening comes up. So that 1 to 2 inches, the timing of it is going to be a little tricky. This is as of 507 update. Let's go ahead and take a look at elsewhere real quick. Now this is a broader picture showing the entire U.S. As you can see, the cold, these blue dashes, that is the cold air swooping in, warmer air into the southwest and areas of California coastline. We do see that by the time that we get into the evening hours, there it is, some of that snow into South Dakota, and we're still seeing the lake effect snow affecting areas of the Great Lakes. And that will shuttle in a little bit more cold air as high pressure comes through. And eventually we will start warming up, and we'll show you a little bit of a forecast on that in just a little bit here. But as we go through the rest of this work week, here's another lake effect snow system going to impact areas of the Great Lakes region. So we're talking Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, unfortunately, again, Pennsylvania areas as we get later into the week. That big northeast system there just really wreaking havoc, lots of moisture to work with. And then that cold air dipping in from Canada will impact along the northeast coastline much of the week. We do see a little bit farther out some stretches of possibility of some ice in the northern part of the U.S., which would be North Dakota and maybe even extreme northeastern parts of South Dakota, but jury's still out on that. Let's go ahead and take a look at an overall perspective of severity of the snow intensity for some of those areas coming up. All right, from the winter storm Prediction Center, basically, WPC, Winter Prediction Center, rather. We do show the storm severity index from December 1st through the 4th. We're looking at pretty intense major impacts to travel. This would be along those Great Lakes regions up by Lake Superior and areas of Michigan. Even along Lake Erie, we do have pretty intense along areas just western New York, which would end up being like the Buffalo region. Some of the worst impacts are going to be up by Kingston. So really extreme impacts. I have not seen this for quite some time. This would be travel is not advised. Extensive and widespread closures and disruption to infrastructure may occur. Life-saving actions may be needed. So that Watertown area, Fort Drum, Jefferson, New York, extreme northern part of New York. And then if we take it, this is the overall impacts. Now the snow amounts, those are pretty intense as well because they are expecting pretty significant snow up in that region. We'll take a look at some of the snowfall totals estimates. Let's go ahead and take a look at day 3. It starts becoming an impact again. Minor impacts, yes, but we'll end up seeing that more of an impact over the next few days. This is a little far out for it to pick that up for the snow amounts, and there's still lots of questions. So ground blizzard type conditions, we're not expecting that unfortunately, or fortunately rather. And let's go ahead and take a look at a few other models here with our Radar Omega. We'll take a look at that. All right, we do have Radar Omega up at this point in time, and we're looking at the GFS model. This is through the 17th. So between now and the 17th, these are possibility of some snowfall totals. I'll bring in the magnifier here. We've got areas that could end up seeing 30 inches up by the northern part of New York, 37 inches. Let's go ahead and bring this down a little bit so that we can kind of see where this ends, basically. So between now and the 5th, another 18 inches are possible based on that model. And if we, so the 5th through the 8th, that's probably the timing of that next system for areas of New York, Michigan, Great Lakes. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at what we're expecting here over the 30 days, or almost the 30 days. As you can see, much of Sioux Falls area really not expecting a whole lot of anything. This model has a little bit of a harder time to pick up that 1 to 2 inches, and that's going to be pretty dusting around, not a whole lot. So it's going to end up having a dominating high pressure. We will start to see some warm-ups come up. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at that. All right, so if we take a look at the temperatures overall, by noon, 17 degrees, that's one estimate here. Again, this is just one weather model. And then if we continue to progress along, you'll be able to eventually start seeing some warm up. And I use that term warm up. We're not expecting like 50, 60 degree temperatures, but nonetheless warmer than normal for this time of year. As we get towards the end of your work week, that's when we see the high pressure shuttling in, much warmer air out west. We do have the 50s out west, and we will expect some 40s to show up in areas of Sioux Falls eventually. We'll have a little bit of a dip down as one wave comes through. This is basically when that storm system comes through the lake effect area, snow again. And then we warm back up as we get into, like I said, into the weekend, the end of your work week. We get those 40s right there. But that's about as warm as we're going to end up getting. Much of this warmer air is going to be pushed to our south. As you can see, some 60s in Oklahoma, almost 70 in some areas. Certainly much warmer air. It's going to have a hard time as that Arctic blast from Canada comes through. And then what's going to happen with the rest of December is going to be a little tricky. We're going to see some high pressure continuing to move that warmer air from the southwest. And it's going to be quite the contrast, 37 over there and 58. So we'll not have any real precipitation chances. It's going to be pretty much dry, somewhat warmer air. And it's not going to be able to tap into that moisture because it's going to be too far to our northeast. Now I'm getting a little too far out. This is about a week out from this recording. So I don't want to go any further than that because things, as you have seen, can change quite a bit. I get a forecast and says no snow. Then all of a sudden we get snow. And that's the thing about these storm systems with a weak La Nina effect. It is very, very difficult to pinpoint when we're going to have any kind of snowfall. So my predictions of 39 inches may be in jeopardy, may be a little too high. We'll have to see how this winter season plays out for areas of Sioux Falls for a seasonal total of 39 inches of snow. We definitely have not gotten anywhere near that yet in areas of Sioux Falls or anywhere else really, but much of the winter to go yet. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at some other graphics here. All right, we're showing you the European model at this point in time. This is a look, this is a little bit outdated, but gives a broad perspective of the 500 millibar wind to kind of show you where the system is. As you can see up in this area, that lake effect snow is impacting right here, as we do have quite the wind happening up there. But eventually, what will end up happening is we'll have that high pressure come around here. Let's go ahead and draw that out. This is the high pressure that we were talking about. That's going to swoop into this area eventually. A couple of different waves coming through. And right here, you can see that intensity as we have possibility of a few light flurries, but nothing that it can really tap into as far as moisture goes. And then eventually that pushes off to the east. Another cold blast comes down from Canada right here. But again, circling off or closing off any moisture right here. That's that high pressure. It's closing off the ability to tap into any moisture. So really going to continue to be dry, but cold. And then eventually it tries to take a pattern shift a little bit. But what I want to point out is this area right here. This is where that other possibility of the great lake effect snow is going to happen sometime around midweek. And then we get closed off again. So we have this dip right here. And this shifts more northward as we try to warm up just a smidge. It gets a little garbled. That's probably the best word that I can use. And it just gets closed off and is very difficult to figure out what kind of pattern. It's kind of in a transitional period. But I want to point out one thing here. We have some crazy stuff expected to happen again. We saw this maybe about a week ago over in the Pacific Northwest. Major rain as what in areas of like California, and then we also had some major snow. We do see a possibility of that again with this system here. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Is that going to push off into this and then dip? Where is everything going to land? That's what we have to take a look at as we get closer to the forecast time frame. That could be something that wreaks havoc around the 14th, the mid part of December, which we have basically, I was looking at some data, about 30% chance of higher, or a 30% chance of more measurable snow as we get into the mid part of December. So we'll have to see how that goes. All right, that is all that we have at this point in time. God bless y'all and stay safe.